Welcome back to Shadow Moses. I am Aaron, and today's video is going to be about the Springfield Saint. So I bought this rifle about 5 years ago, put a lot of rounds on it. I've had a lot of experience with it. So we're going to talk about the ups and the downs. I'm going to tell you about everything that comes with this gun from the factory, and we're also going to talk about the various upgrades that I have made over time. Yeah, I know, I'm not wearing a mask, but that's all right because I like to shoot fast. So talking about the Springfield Saint. So out of the factory, the Springfield Saint comes with the BCM PCMR. That is not PC Master Race, by the way. It is their BCM's polymer M-lock handguard. So it's okay, but the thing is it rattles like crazy. So that just drove me a little bit too batty. Had to take it off, and that's what happened. All right, so let's go over the whole rifle. We're gonna go in the standard format that has been set on YouTube by Garand Thumb, and that is the tip to butt format. All right, so the Springfield Saint. So what you're gonna get out of the box with the Springfield Saint, you're gonna get a 16-inch barrel with a 1 8 twist. Now it is CMV, it's 4150 chrome moly vanadium, and it is not chrome lined. You get the A2 muzzle device. It's basically a standard muzzle device, I guess the standard for flash hiders. So we've added the Daniel Defense fixed front sight here. I wanted a fixed sight to be kind of like my point for my red dot is, so it helps me with tracking the red dot a little better. So that's why that's there. It's also a backup sighting system. So moving back from there, I want to talk about a little bit about the gas block. Now this might be just because I've kept it stored in humid conditions, like in my home and in my safe. So I have noticed a rust pattern starting to form here on the gas block. It's not a big deal. The gun still runs, everything works properly, but I did notice that rust pattern starting to form. All right, so moving on from there, you have a pinned mid-length gas block. It comes with the PCMR rail, but I have added the Daniel Defense Omega rail. Now this rail was actually used by AFSOC. I don't know too much about it, so we're not going to go too far, but if you want to look up, if you just Google was the Omega rail used by the military, you'll find it. All right, so we have the Streamlight ProTac HLX. That's going to be our light you're going to see in every video because it's an awesome light, dude. This light is so underrated. People went out buying their Surefires and everything. I can understand why, but this 10-tap programmable thing here, so usually if you multi-tap the light, it'll go into strobe. But I've programmed it so where it's constant only, you know? So you essentially just tap this 10 times and then you can program it. You hold it down to what you want it programmed and then you let off and it's programmed. But yeah, the 10-tap programmable will get you to where you can just go with that constant on, get you closer to the performance of something like a Surefire in your hands at least. So the DD Omega rail, moving back to that, has been awesome. Now this is just a drop-in rail. You put it on the D-ring and you got some screws here that you tighten up in the front with the thing that interfaces underneath the D-ring. You just tighten down those screws and it tightens down against that D-ring, and then you have a free floated rail on what originally was not a free floated rail. So that's pretty cool. I really like the Omega rail. So for the optic, I went with the EOTech XPS2-1 just because that's what I already had. For the stock, it is going to be the B5 Systems Bravo. Now this is SOP mod approved. I read on the box. I don't really give a shit about how much that means, but yeah, SOP mod stock, or the Bravo stock. Our rear sight here is going to be an M-Bus 2. It's just a polymer sight. I wanted something that I could flip up if I needed a backup sighting system to go with my DD front sight, but I didn't want it to be fixed. Originally we had the fixed DD sight there and it just kind of got in the way. It was usable, but I just kind of prefer it like this. All right, so we have the upper and lower receiver. It's all mil-spec. It's got a mil-spec GI trigger in it. Springfield says that it's upgraded out of the box. Now it's really just a nickel boron mil-spec trigger, and it does feel pretty good. It's not bad. Mil-spec triggers are pretty good once you train on them. All right, so oh yeah, 7075 T6 aluminum for the upper and lower, and they are Type 3 hard coat anodized. So the rail is also going to be made out of 7075 T6 aluminum as well. I did add an ambi selector here, an ambi safety. It's just short of a short throw. It's a 45, so it's really fast to actuate. I like this 45. I picked it up from PSA. It's not like a super high-end part or anything like that, but it's pretty cool. All right, so for the bolt carrier group, what I have installed here is a BCM bolt carrier group. Now, the reason for that is because around 1,400 rounds, we did snap a hardened and staked fastener off the bolt carrier group of the original Springfield bolt. Now, it could have just been that simple size of one. It could have just been a lemon. So I did switch out the BCG for the bolt, the BCM BCG. I think that the bolt carrier group that actually came with it is still functional. The gas key hasn't moved at all. It just snapped that head off, so we might try to fix it. I've had this gun for the past 5 years. I've put around somewhere close to 5,000 rounds on it. When we first got this gun with the stock carbine spring and buffer, we were just having horrible reliability. I mean, we were getting double feeds like crazy. It was non-stop. The gun didn't seem great at that time because of the reliability issues, but as soon as we switched out the spring and buffer for a standard carbine spring and a standard carbine buffer, this thing has been 100% reliable ever since. The only time I've ever had another double feed is what you've seen earlier when I tried to put a different lower with a heavier buffer and a stiffer spring in it. Oh! All right, so we got 2 rounds fighting for the same chamber here, so that probably might have a little bit to do with the spring that I put in here along with that H2 buffer, because with the standard carbine spring and we are properly seated, so with the standard carbine spring it runs just fine. I think the modifications that I made within this lower is what's causing us to get these malfunctions. So
that's the one that you switched out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll switch back to the stock lower and we'll put the regular springs back in it and we'll go from there.
Oh, do a do a mortar.
The lower.
Explain why you switched lowers.
All right, so I put the Aero lower on here. It's got a Geisley SSAE, so it helps me get faster splits, just speed up my shooting just a little bit. I wanted to take a crack at it, and mainly I wanted to see how it would run with this H2 buffer and the Springco Blue Spring. But it turns out like it's a mid-length gas system, and the way that Springfield has gassed it, it's not going to run reliably. The recoil impulse is super soft on this rifle. That is one thing I definitely noticed, and maybe that is attributed to that mid-length gas system. Now, it's not as light as something like a BCM. Their rifles are tuned a little bit better. I'm not sure how they do it, but yeah, it's not going to be something like that. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to make a short video about the Springfield Saint, being that I've had it for 5 years and I've had so much experience with it. So we've swapped out the charging handle here. We have the BCM Gunfighter charging handle. Now, out of the box, this gun is about 6 pounds. With all of this on here that I've installed, the gun is now closer to about 9 pounds. So, sights, it's supposed to come by, oh, I wanted to hit on this. This thing is supposed to come out of the box with flip-up metal sights. Mine did not. So what's up with that, Springfield? M16 bolt carrier group. It says Carpenter 158 steel, which is high pressure tested and magnetic particle inspected. So that's going to be really important. You really want to look for that HPT and MPI when buying bolts, and the fact that it's on there is pretty good. Coming in at a $1,000 price tag for the rifle out of the box. That's not bad. So it's all mil spec, GI style. The grip is the BCM Gunfighter Mod 3. So if you want to get that, pick that grip up, you can. It's great. Now I do want to reiterate, this is not a mid-tier rifle. This is not a high-end rifle. This is the upper low tier. Now, something that I do see on here, that you usually see on higher end rifles, is the type of anodizing. So now this anodizing is really nice. It's got a really nice finish to it. It's probably one of the smoothest anodized finishes I've felt on an AR. The fitment's not bad. As you can see here, there's not really, maybe a tiny bit of wobble between the upper and lower, but it's not a lot. Something that's really cool about that is you can fix it because you have the AccuTight tension system here in the lower receiver. So if you want to change that, all you do is you go in under your grip here, you tighten up a screw, it raises up, and you tighten it to where you want to be, and it will take all of that play out. So yeah, dust cover works. Everything on here has been cool, especially with the upgrades. 5 years with the Springfield Saint. I thought about getting rid of it, but I think I'm going to keep it. Anyway, this has been Shadow Moses. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video. Catch you later.